The 18-year-old gunman used an assault-style rifle to open fire on two connected classrooms, firing over 300 rounds. He was inside the classroom for 77 minutes before officers breached the locked door with a key and killed him. He bought the guns legally just days after turning 18. Bipartisan negotiations on new gun laws are underway on Capitol Hill.
It's inconceivable to me that we have not passed significant federal legislation trying to address the tragedy of gun violence in this nation. The pace of everyday gun violence has dramatically escalated over the past 2 years.
Republican Congressman Adam Kinzinger says raising the age to purchase the gun to 21 is part of the solution.
If you look at the Parkland shooting, you look at Buffalo, you look at this shooting, these are people under the age of 21. We know that the human brain develops and matures a lot between the age of 18 and 21.
The Department of Justice announced this weekend it will conduct a critical incident review of the law enforcement response in Uvalde at the request of the town's mayor. A survivor of the mass shooting in Uvalde, just 10 years old, sharing his harrowing encounter with a gunman with ABC News. His late mother's cousin lives in Sacramento. She tells ABC 10 how compounding threats here have rattled her sense of the world. BN2 reports.
Recovering from shrapnel lodged in his legs, 10-year-old Samuel Salinas is a survivor of the massacre at Robb Elementary in Uvalde, Texas.
I was playing dead, so he won't shoot me.
Sitting with his father, he describes the moment when the gunman entered his fourth grade classroom.
It was scary, and when he went in the classroom, he said, "You're all gonna die," and he just started shooting people.
Samuel's teacher, Irma Garcia, among 21 killed in the second deadliest school shooting in U.S. history. 19 of Samuel's third and fourth grade schoolmates killed.
He shot my teacher, and then he shot the kids. And then I think he was aiming at me, like the thing.
A chair, he says, shielded him from direct hits. It was later that day when his late mother's cousin, April Ybarra, got the news in Sacramento, where a firearm and a loaded magazine was found in a second grader's desk at Edward Kemble Elementary.
And immediately, here I am again. I have a cousin who has a second grader in Edward Kemble, so you can imagine immediately where my mind went after just hearing that my cousin's son was in this traumatizing event, knowing that here locally, it also affected my family.
The threat of gun violence in schools pervasive. Ibarra says she wants both school officials and government leaders to take action in several forms: training for staff and officers, hardening schools, improving mental health, and banning semi-automatic rifles.
Country, I believe that we do need to have the right to bear arms, but I also believe that there's certain weaponry that we really don't need. And
Ibarra says she can only imagine what her hometown in Texas is going through as they look to heal, knowing many families already do not have adequate access to medical and mental health care, her cousin's son Samuel included. She says it starts with holding leaders accountable, and after a traumatizing week for her family, she says she's tired of thoughts and prayers.
I'm a woman of faith, and I believe prayer is the first thing that you do in these situations. But it needs to stop this weaponizing Christianity and the Bible to protect their beliefs and idolize what they believe to be right. And if this is what they're going to say, then they need to pray for the wisdom to make the right decisions to ensure that we're a country strong and without these mass shootings continuing to happen, or pray and get out of the way and let the people who can do it, do it.
President Biden and First Lady Jill Biden paid their respects to the 19 students and 2 teachers killed at Robb Elementary today. The Bidens attended Mass, then visited families of victims, survivors, and first responders.